Hey there, this is Jeff, and I'm in the process of planting some rose bushes. So I figured a lot of people don't really know how to use shovels, especially when you're going into stuff like clay. Uh, so here is my little video on this. One of the things that I forgot to do there was put down cardboard. So now I have all this dirt in the rocks. So get some cardboard out before you start this project. And then when you're going to dig this out, you're going to want to clear out your rock on the side. And then after that, I used a small shovel. These small shovels, which you can see is smaller than my foot, are great for cutting plastic and getting in small holes like this. All right, so the next tool we're going to use, and this is, by the way, this is my flower garden that I've been working on, planting this, but very pretty. Got the Icelandic poppy, some columbines, perennials, annuals, just a nice mix. All right, sorry, I'm a little bit out of breath because I have been working. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start this hole. I was out of cardboard, so I have this, and I'm gonna show you how to use a shovel to actually get into the dirt and dig in. This can be very frustrating sometimes if you're trying to figure out how to dig into stuff. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this small shovel, and I'm gonna cut out the plastic. And if you're in a area and you got rock, so you can just do this, cut the plastic out. And just use the shovel like a knife. Cut the plastic out, peel that away. All right, now the next thing we want to do is we're going to take out some of this top dirt, put that over here. And if you see roots and stuff like that, you want to, pull those out of the dirt before you put it back in the hole. Hopefully you're going to go ahead and use some soil with some compost in it to help this work. Kind of wish I knew where I put my gloves, but I'm not really sure. But I don't really need them right now. All right, we got the first part done. Now we're going to use this long shovel. So the rose bushes say they want 18 inches deep. This is probably about 20, maybe that's 18. These things, you go, well, what the heck, it won't go down. The trick is to rock it side to side and this way. So this is hard clay. I can't even push it like this. Yep, I'm pushing, won't go. So instead, put it down and just start rocking it. And it will cut through roots and different things like that. And you see it just going down. And then you can kind of rock it back and forth. And this is what I'm doing. So now getting it back out, rock it, because it'll stick in this clay. In a lot of places, I mean, it's usually harder to get it out of the hole. There we go. Come on, get back out of the hole. Clay is like glue. It is so sticky. See that? How glued to the end there? And that's why it's best to use cardboard, because I just broke my plastic lid. But this, you can see how sticky that stuff is. So once you break out that first layer, you can use this little shovel if you need to get some of that loose stuff out of there. Rocks. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna work this back and forth. Maybe I won't go so deep this time. Then you can rock it back. Pull this up. See that clay just sticks to everything. That stuff is crazy. Bentonite soil. Like, and then we just keep going down. There's like a rock or something there, so you gotta work around the rocks. But But the biggest trick is just use this thing and don't kick your butt. Just rock around it. And as you rock the shovel, while you're putting a little bit of pressure down, it'll just eat its way through this stuff. You can try using spades and things like that, but these shovels are nice because, but yeah, I mean, look at that. Very clumpy. This is why it's also good to use a compost. There we go. Rock that down. Rock that down. Okay, so now this stuff is really hard to dig through if you're just trying to use a spade, and it will kick your butt, and you'll spend hours trying to do that. And instead, you can just come in here and let the shovel do the work and not your back. See? In and out. See how easy that is? I have sprayed some like soy or oil or stuff on the ends of the shovels and try to keep it from sticking, and it hasn't made much of a difference. It only works for like the first hole or two, and then it scrapes off with the dirt. But you can see how this is working, and it hasn't taken me hardly any time at all to dig this relatively 20-inch deep hole. In this clay. And I got that broken apart, so I'll use this little shovel. And these are nice. It's like a little mini spade. It is one of the best tools I've used ever. I hardly ever use a regular spade because of this. Got some roots in there. There's my hole. So you see, it didn't take much time to dig this hole. And then we put some compost in there, you know, some good topsoil, things like that. But you can see, putting a place for the dirt that you can pile up on there. And then you got this hole, which is, you know, as deep as that spade. But you see, I just rocked that spade back and forth, left and right. And it didn't take hardly any time to dig these holes. So I hope this helps you guys when you guys are doing yard work and trying to dig holes to plant things like the 4 rose bushes I'm going to be planting here. That shovel that like does this, I mean, that's when you're supposed to do this, and then you can pinch it together. Those can be handy if you are trying to extract the dirt from a hole. But so far, this has actually worked really well. That shovel with a little mini spade. And one last look at my flower garden. And then a little tribute. This was kind of built initially because of my kitty Daniel. I planted this hibiscus over him, and I had this little figurine statue thing for the garden. Got some columbines here, perennials all there, perennials there. And I kind of layered this in, so I've got the perennials on the outer area, and then I have annuals that I'll plant in here too. So there's a perennial. I like to have a little bit of a mix of them. So you got something, because annuals will kind of bloom throughout the summer. Perennials only bloom when it's their season. And then I kind of like this. This is my little Icelandic poppy. It's very pretty. I always buy these things closed when I buy my flowers. Like this one I bought closed, and this was just from Walmart. So none of the flowers were blooming on it. So after I got it in the ground and the shock wears off, then it starts blooming. So anyway, that's what's going on. Beautiful day out here, and hope this little video helps. And of course, everyone says like and subscribe, but I'm going to just ask, go check out my other videos. I got videos of motorcycles, traveling around the world, things from Turkey and stuff like that. So go check out my other videos, and if you do want to like it, I appreciate that too. I don't make any money from these. I just do it just for the likes. Okay? All right, thanks. Bye.